What's going on, my YouTube brethren? Just getting some gas at my favorite gas station. Do you guys have favorite gas stations? Like if you're going on a trip and you're going out of town, before you leave, you got to hit your favorite gas station. Now, unfortunately, my town up here in the Texas Panhandle, we do not have a Buc-ee's yet. They are building a Buc-ee's, and so as soon as that's built, that will be my favorite place to go. But for now, it's just the big tootin' totem on the way out of town. But anyway, we got something really cool for you guys. We are going to the mountains of New Mexico. We're going to do a little winter fly fishing, and so hopefully it's a great time. I'm going to go to the San Juan, and I'm going to be with a guide over there named James and another gentleman from About Trout, and so you can find them on Instagram. I'll include all that stuff in the link below. And anyway, I'm really hoping for a cool video. Going to camp out in the car. Unfortunately, the car has no heater, so I'm going to drive over there with no heater. I do have a blanket, so if it gets really cold, I'll at least be able to bundle up while I'm driving. I brought a little electric heater that I can plug into the campsite because it does have electricity. I've got a lantern, and I've got a little Coleman stove. I've got me a cast iron skillet. So I got some bedding, and we're just gonna go on the cheap. So winter fly fishing trip in the cold, no heater, at least car heater, and gonna try to do it without staying at a hotel. So anyway, let's get going. We'll go on down the road, leaving Amarillo. It's gonna take about 7 hours to get there. And man, I'm really looking forward to it. It's gonna be a lot of fun. Thanks for joining us, and hopefully we'll catch some fish.
My mentality was this martial arts mentality, like, look how good he is at working.
All right, we got where we needed to be. Of course, it's dark outside because, you know, it's winter and daylight savings time sucks. But regardless of that, it is raining here. It's about 45 degrees right now, so it's not terrible outside. Hopefully it gets a little better in the morning. It's supposed to be beautiful tomorrow, fingers crossed. When we get started, it's supposed to be about 39. But anyway, so this is the halfway point. Is it really a camping trip if you don't have to stop at Walmart and spend $100 on all the stuff that you forgot at the house? Is it really a trip if you don't do that? Because that's what I had to do. I had to stop and I had to spend, like I said, about $100 on some stuff that I forgot. The biggest thing I forgot was my coffee pot. And look, I love to fish, and I'll fish just about any way you can throw it at me, but fishing without coffee, it's pretty difficult, especially in the early morning. So I had to go get my coffee. But anyway, I got that, got a couple of extra goodies, and anyway, just had to pick up some stuff because that's life. So we're gonna go on. We got about another 3 hours. So the very next shot should be me lighting the lantern when we get to the campsite. So fingers crossed we make it without fail. Here's hoping. Well, say what you want about them, but there's not much better than a Coleman lantern. There's something about that sound that they make. I really like it. And so something that my father did whenever I was young, always had a Coleman lantern. He usually had a Coleman, white gas stove too, typically, but definitely the lantern. So yeah, propane's a lot easier. Electric, even easier than that. But there's just something about an old Coleman lantern. So I've got this. Let me see if I can set it out here over the way if it'll change things just a little bit. Ooh. Man, it's like we're making the Blair Witch Project or something. Okay, just got to the campground, and it is pretty nice, and it's bigger than I thought. There's like 70-something camp spots. So I got the number 3 is what we booked online, and it's like right as you get to the camp. So there's people across from me, and then the bathrooms are up there, and bathrooms are out of service. So I guess I'm SOL on that particular front in the morning. But anyway, I got my bedding set up in the back of the Explorer here, and I did get over here with no heater, so that was an adventure. It didn't get really cold. It got down to like 40, maybe 39, 40 in some areas, and we had a pretty heavy fog, so I was only able to drive about 35 to 40 miles an hour in a couple of places, so it took longer to get here. So anyway, it's about 11 o'clock. I got my coffee pot here. I'm going to get set up. I got my little small heater in the car that I'll use tonight. It's not going to be that cold, I don't think, and so I may not need it, but if I do, I'll have it. And like I said, that heater, I think my parents got in a garage sale, but it's like from the 70s or something, and it sounds like it's dying, you know, whenever it runs. So it's kind of nostalgia for me to have that one going at all times. But anyway, I'll get the coffee pot, and I'll probably just sit out here for a little bit and chill, and maybe smoke a cigar. I don't know. I got to get up early, but I'm kind of amped, so I don't know how that's going to go. Anyway, well, thanks for driving along. Hopefully, next video we got first thing in the morning. Go to the fly shop, get set up, and hit the water. I'm really excited. Y'all have a good night. I'm going to stay warm. Have a good night. We'll see you in the morning. Well, good morning, my fishing brethren. Today's the day. Get to go float the river, hope to catch some big fish, and I'll tell you, camping for us is roughing it. Let me show you. This is really off the beaten path primitive camping. We got our electricity hookup, we got our coffee pot, ran electricity into the car last night, had a little heater, and it never did get cold. I just used it one time, so pretty nice. Let me get some coffee and we'll get on the road because we need to get. Well, man, what a trip. We had a great time and more fish than I thought, bigger fish than I thought. And, you know, I've heard some terrible things about the San Juan River. I lived in Albuquerque for 8-9 years and I never went there because people just poo-pooed it all the time. Said it was overrated, said there weren't any fish in there, said the fish were gross, they were all trash fish and, you know, trash fishing, you know, it wasn't purist or whatever it was. I mean, there's just, people griped about it all the time. The San Juan's an amazing fishery. So, loved our guide, James from About Trout. I will leave all of his information in the description below. You can definitely check him out. If you're in this area and you want to come catch some trout on a great drift boat kind of presentation, even if you're not that proficient fly fishing, I'm pretty proficient fly fishing one way. Dry fly fishing on one stream that I've been going to since I was a little kid. The rest of the stuff that we learned, the nymphing and the streamer fishing and some of that, I was kind of brand new. And James was super patient and really a good teacher. I was very impressed with him. I've had a terrible guide experience the last 2 times I've been bass fishing. Awful guides. And it was really nice and refreshing to have a good guide. And he was well worth the money. And he wasn't, you know, he wasn't terribly expensive. He was very reasonable and a wonderful guide. So James, thank you. If you guys are looking for a trip down there, definitely do that. I am past Farmington. Well, I didn't go to Farmington. I went close to Farmington and I went on past the lake and actually going into Colorado. So just got past Pagosa Springs and headed to Denver to go check on a friend of mine who's in the hospital up there. And it's already snowing in the pass. It's wet and icy, and so a little nerve-wracking going on into Denver. But I may take another couple of quick shots of what we're going through here to end the video. But just wanted to let you know, go fish with James at About Trout there at the San Juan in western New Mexico. It is a great trip. This is December. It's cold outside. I didn't think anybody would be fly fishing. Definitely not fly fishing for trout out here in the wilds of New Mexico, but there it is. Wonderful fishery. Definitely check it out. Thanks, you guys, for hanging out with us, for watching us catch some fish. Hopefully you enjoyed it, and we got some boat videos coming up hopefully at the end of the week, so hopefully you guys stay tuned. Like and subscribe, all that good stuff. We will catch you on the next video. God bless.